You wake up. Your legs feel heavy like you've been carrying bricks in your sleep. The floor feels farther away. Getting out of bed takes more effort than it used to. A few years ago, you were moving with ease. Now, just walking to the bathroom feels like a chore. You tell yourself it's just aging. But what if it's not? What if your muscles aren't weak, but simply disconnected? See, most seniors aren't losing strength because they're getting older. They're losing it because their nerves and muscles stop talking to each other. That vital connection fades silently, and it often begins the night before. It's not your age, it's your biology. And once you understand how to feed that connection, everything changes. In this video, you're going to discover something simple yet surprisingly powerful. A three-step protocol based on real science that has already helped thousands of older adults feel stronger, more balanced, and more energized, often in less than a day. You'll learn what to eat, when to eat it, and how the timing of your evening meal might be the missing key to how your legs function in the morning. We're not talking about miracle pills, extreme workouts, or expensive supplements. This is about understanding how your body works and how to nourish it back into motion. If you stay with me, you'll walk away with more than just information. You'll have a plan your body can respond to starting tonight. 1. Muscles aren't weak, they're disconnected. For years, we've been told that muscle loss is just a part of aging. That feeling weaker, slower, and less balanced is something we simply have to accept. But what if that's not the full story? New research is painting a very different picture, one that's actually hopeful. The real issue for many seniors isn't that their muscles are gone. It's that those muscles are no longer fully connected to the nervous system that controls them. In simple terms, your muscles haven't disappeared. They've gone silent. This silent disconnection starts in your 40s, accelerates in your 50s, and becomes much more noticeable by the time you reach 60. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't leave visible signs, but one day you find yourself needing both hands to push up from a chair. You hesitate before stepping onto a curb. Your legs don't respond with the same speed or stability they used to. What's really happening here, it's called neuromuscular signaling breakdown. Normally, your brain sends an electrical message through your spinal cord, down a motor neuron, and into your leg muscles. That's how you walk, stand, move, and balance. But over time, those motor neurons weaken. Their ability to speak clearly to your muscles fades. The signal becomes inconsistent. And your muscles, even if they're physically present, stop responding. They're not dead, they're disconnected. Imagine a construction crew at a job site ready, trained, and equipped, but no one's giving them instructions. That's your leg muscles without a strong neural command. They're still there, but they're idle, underused, and waiting for the signal to come back online. A groundbreaking study from the University of Calgary proved this. Researchers found that seniors experiencing leg weakness still had viable muscle tissue, but the problem wasn't the muscle, it was the loss of signal from their central nervous system. In fact, many participants regained function once those neural pathways were supported nutritionally. Now, you might be asking, so if it's not just muscle loss, what can I do about it? The good news is, this neuromuscular disconnection is not permanent. Your body is still capable of restoring those connections, but it needs specific building blocks nutrients that fuel the junction where your nerves and muscles meet. And timing matters. This isn't about lifting heavier weights or walking longer distances. It's about feeding your nervous system the right way so it can start talking to your legs again. Many people make the mistake of jumping straight into physical training without addressing this neurological gap. That's like yelling into a broken microphone. Before worrying about building more muscle, ask yourself, is your body even using the muscle you already have? Here's your takeaway. If your legs feel slower, unsteady, or less responsive, even without major injury or illness, there's a high chance your neuromuscular connection is faltering. And that connection can often be restored with targeted, timed nutrition. Don't give up on your legs. They might not be weak. They might just be waiting to hear your brain's signal again. 2. Leucine, the muscle switch your body's missing. When most people think about building or maintaining muscle, they think protein. And they're right to a point. But here's what many people don't realize. Not all proteins are created equal, and not all proteins actually trigger your muscles to grow or repair. That trigger comes from one key nutrient, leucine. Leucine is an essential amino acid, meaning your body can't make it. You have to get it from food. But what makes leucine special isn't just its presence in protein-rich foods. It's what it tells your body to do. Think of your body like an airport control tower. Every time you eat, it looks for signals, not just calories, but instructions. Leucine is one of the strongest signals your body listens for. It flips a switch deep in your cells called mTOR, short for mechanistic target of rapamycin. This isn't just technical jargon. mTOR is the pathway that tells your body now is the time to repair and build muscle. Without enough leucine, that signal stays quiet, even if you've eaten plenty of protein. That's why many older adults feel frustrated. They're eating what they think is enough, a chicken breast here, a scoop of cottage cheese there, but their bodies aren't responding. The truth is, as we age, we become less sensitive to those muscle-building signals. This is called anabolic resistance. Your muscle cells need a stronger push to do what they used to do naturally in your 20s or 30s. Leucine is that push. A 2011 study in the Journal of Nutrition found that even in older adults, a single leucine-rich meal could boost mTOR activity and trigger muscle protein synthesis within hours. That's remarkable, especially when you realize how easy it is to fall short. Here's a common mistake: eating just enough protein to prevent muscle breakdown, but not enough to stimulate growth. That's like giving your muscles enough to survive, but not enough to thrive. So what does this mean for you? If you want your legs to feel stronger, especially in the morning, your first meal of the day needs to be built around high leucine foods. Not just general protein, leucine-rich protein. Some of the best sources include whole eggs, whey protein isolate, chicken breast, lean beef, tuna or salmon. The ideal amount. Research suggests 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal, which typically comes from 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. Here's a practical approach. Start your day with a whey protein smoothie and 2 whole eggs. That combination delivers the leucine you need quickly and efficiently. Even better, your nervous system is more responsive in the morning, especially after sleep, making this window incredibly valuable for recovery and signal activation. Let's put it simply. Your muscles don't just need more food, they need the right food at the right time. One final note: don't confuse feeling full with feeding your muscles. A full stomach doesn't guarantee a muscle response. Only leucine can flip that switch. So if you're eating but still feeling weak, don't ask, "Am I getting enough protein?" Ask instead, "Am I getting enough leucine? And am I timing it right?" Because when you do, you're not just fueling your muscles, you're waking them up. 3. Acetylcholine, the messenger that makes muscles fire. Every time you move, whether you're standing up, reaching for a glass, or taking a single step, your brain sends a command. But that command doesn't go directly to your muscles. First, it gets translated into a chemical signal. That chemical is called acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is your body's master messenger for movement. Without it, your muscles can't fire. They don't respond or they misfire. And over time, this leads to instability, shaky legs, slower reaction times, and that all too familiar feeling of "I just don't feel steady anymore." Here's what most people don't know: as we age, our ability to produce acetylcholine naturally begins to decline. That decline is slow and subtle, almost invisible at first, but it becomes more noticeable around the legs. Why? Because the motor neurons connected to your legs are some of the longest and most vulnerable pathways in the body. They require the most coordination and the strongest signals. If you've ever stood up from a chair and felt off balance, if your legs don't seem to respond quickly anymore, if you pause before stepping forward, there's a good chance your acetylcholine levels are running low. Now here's the encouraging part: you can support and even restore acetylcholine production naturally and quickly by giving your body the raw material it needs, choline. Choline is the precursor to acetylcholine. Without enough choline, your nervous system simply can't make the messenger. Think of it like trying to mail a letter without an envelope. The message is there, but it's not getting delivered. So where do you get choline? The best source is right in your fridge, whole eggs, specifically the yolks. 2 whole eggs provide over 300 milligrams of choline, enough to start rebuilding your neuromuscular signals in just a few hours. This was confirmed in a 2012 nutrients review, which showed that increasing dietary choline could improve acetylcholine production within 6 to 12 hours, especially in situations that demand motor control, like walking, balancing, or rising from a chair. And timing matters here too. Acetylcholine levels are typically lowest in the morning after sleep. That's when your brain and muscles are most receptive to support, and when symptoms of disconnection are most obvious. That groggy first step out of bed. The lag before your legs wake up. That's a direct reflection of your nervous system's need for better fuel. That's why the ideal time to get choline into your system is within 30 minutes of waking. Here's a simple but powerful routine. Start your morning with 2 whole eggs. Pair it with a scoop of whey protein or cottage cheese. Add healthy fat like avocado or olive oil for better absorption. This combination doesn't just feed your muscles, it reactivates the neural conversation between your brain and your legs. It restores clarity, command, and confidence in your movement. Now, you might be wondering, what if I don't eat eggs? No problem. There are plant-based sources of choline as well, including quinoa, Brussels sprouts, and soybeans. However, it's important to note, egg yolks offer the highest bioavailability, meaning your body absorbs and uses that choline more efficiently than from other sources. And here's something many people overlook: acetylcholine doesn't only control movement. It also plays a vital role in focus learning and memory. So when you support your motor neurons, you're not just walking better, you're thinking clearer. That's the double benefit of positive aging body and mind working in sync. To summarize, acetylcholine is the signal that makes muscles move. Choline is the nutrient that fuels that signal. Eggs are your fastest and most effective source. Timing is everything. Get it in early and your body responds better, faster. When your legs hesitate, it's not just weakness. It's your nervous system asking for a better connection. And now you know exactly how to give it one. 4. Beetroot. The blood flow booster. You can have strong muscles, sharp nerves, and the right nutrients. But if your blood isn't delivering those nutrients efficiently, your legs will still feel tired, slow, and heavy. That's where blood flow comes in. And that's where beetroot becomes a game changer. As we age, the small arteries and capillaries in our legs begin to narrow and stiffen. The result: poor circulation. Oxygen and nutrients that used to reach your muscles effortlessly now struggle to get through. Waste products like lactic acid build up. Muscles feel sluggish, tight, and harder to recover after movement, even simple walking. Think of it like a garden hose. If there's a kink in the hose, it doesn't matter how much water you're trying to pump, the flow slows down. Your muscles are the garden, and without a strong flow, they can't grow or function properly. So how do we unkink the hose? With a molecule called nitric oxide, or NO for short. Nitric oxide is your body's natural way of telling blood vessels to relax and widen. When blood vessels open up, more oxygen gets through. Nutrients travel faster, muscle fatigue fades. Strength returns. And the most powerful way to boost nitric oxide production: beetroot. Beets, especially in raw or juiced form, are rich in dietary nitrates. Once consumed, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide. Within 90 minutes, blood flow improves, especially to the lower body. This isn't theory. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that older adults who drank beetroot juice experienced significant increases in leg muscle power within just hours. The gains were particularly noticeable in fast-twitch muscle fibers, the same ones responsible for quick movements, balance reactions, and fall prevention. In real-world tests like walking speed, standing from a chair, or climbing stairs, the improvements were not only measurable, they were meaningful. So, how do you apply this? Here's a simple routine. About 90 minutes before physical activity, consume either 1 to 2 medium-sized, roasted, or raw beets, or 250 to 300 of 100% beetroot juice. Then follow it up with 20 minutes of light movement, such as walking, cycling, or dynamic stretching. Why the movement? Because activity multiplies nitric oxide production. You're not just turning on the hose, you're adding pressure flow and responsiveness. It's a double boost. Now you might be wondering, aren't beets high in sugar? Good question. While beets do contain natural sugars, their glycemic load is low, especially when paired with fiber or protein. The energy they provide is slow burning, and the performance benefits far outweigh any concern, especially when eaten before movement. To go even further, you can combine beets with leafy greens or plant-based proteins in a smoothie or salad. This not only improves nitric oxide output, but also supports other areas like inflammation and nutrient absorption. Here's the key takeaway. If your legs feel tired despite eating well and moving daily, the missing link may be blood flow, not effort. Support your circulation and your strength returns. Support it consistently, and your legs begin to feel light again, responsive, capable, alive. And one humble root beetroot can help get you there faster than you think. 5. Chronic inflammation is silently weakening your legs. Most people think of inflammation as something obvious: redness, swelling, heat after an injury. That's acute inflammation. It shows up loud and clear. But there's another kind, a quieter, slower kind, and it could be silently wearing down your leg strength day after day. This is chronic low-grade inflammation, and it's far more common than you might think, especially in adults over 50. You can't see it. You don't feel it in the moment. But it's working behind the scenes, disrupting how your body heals, how your muscles recover, and even how well your nerves communicate with your legs. What does it look like in real life? Legs that always feel heavy even after rest. Slower recovery from simple movement. That general feeling of fatigue in your lower body, like you're dragging your steps. Here's why chronic inflammation disrupts mitochondrial function, the tiny power plants inside your muscle cells. It also interferes with muscle protein synthesis, making it harder for your body to repair tissue. On top of that, it increases oxidative stress, which further damages cells and slows down healing. Even more concerning, inflammation interferes with your neuromuscular signaling. That means even if your muscles are healthy and your blood flow is adequate, your nervous system might not be able to fully recruit your leg muscles. A 2020 study published in the Journals of Gerontology showed that elevated levels of inflammatory markers, specifically C-reactive protein CRP and interleukin-6 IL-6, were strongly associated with reduced leg strength in older adults. Even those who exercised regularly and ate relatively well showed signs of muscular decline if inflammation was present. So, what's driving this inflammation? The usual suspects: processed foods, sedentary lifestyle, poor gut health, chronic stress, and most importantly, a lack of anti-inflammatory nutrients. That's where nutrition becomes your best ally. Some of the most powerful inflammation-fighting tools don't come from a supplement bottle. They're in your produce drawer. Spinach, kale, mustard greens, chard, arugula. These dark, leafy greens are rich in polyphenols, chlorophyll, magnesium, and plant-based nitrates, all known to down-regulate inflammatory pathways in the body. One standout nutrient is quercetin, a polyphenol found in kale and mustard greens. It's been shown to block inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, the same compounds linked to muscle breakdown and joint discomfort. A 2019 study in Frontiers in Pharmacology demonstrated that consuming quercetin-rich foods regularly, especially when paired with moderate movement, could reduce inflammation markers within just 2 to 4 weeks. Now here's the key strategy. Eat at least 1 cup of dark leafy greens during your first meal of the day. Why breakfast? Because your circadian rhythm, Your internal body clock responds best to anti-inflammatory signaling early in the day. You're not just feeding your body, you're setting the tone for your immune and hormonal systems to stay in balance. Here's how to do it right. Lightly sauté spinach or kale with olive oil. Add a squeeze of lemon juice or splash of apple cider vinegar to improve digestion and nutrient uptake. Or blend greens into a morning smoothie with avocado and frozen berries. And remember, these foods don't work like painkillers. You won't feel a sudden jolt of energy. But give them 10 to 14 days of consistent use, and you'll likely notice less stiffness, faster recovery after walking, and a return of that lightness in your legs. Because inflammation isn't just a response to injury, it's a signal, a whisper that something's out of balance. And when you answer that whisper with the right nutrition, your legs don't just recover, they remember how strong they were meant to be. 6. Meal timing. The most overlooked key. You've heard it before. You are what you eat. But when it comes to leg strength, especially as we age, it's just as important to understand this. You are when you eat. Most people focus on what's on the plate, but very few realize that meal timing can either support or sabotage the way your muscles repair and rebuild. And for seniors struggling with leg weakness, that timing can make all the difference. Here's why. Every time you eat a meal containing protein, your body triggers a process called muscle protein synthesis. MPS, the biological mechanism that repairs and builds muscle fibers. You can think of it as flipping a switch inside your cells that says, let's rebuild. But as we age, that switch doesn't flip as easily. The muscle cells become more resistant to the signal. This is called anabolic resistance, and it's one of the hidden culprits behind why older adults lose strength despite eating well. So what's the fix? It's not just eating more protein, it's spacing it out and targeting key windows during your day when your body is most receptive. A 2014 study from the University of Texas found that when older adults distributed their protein intake evenly across breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they experienced 25% higher rates of muscle protein synthesis compared to those who consumed the majority of their protein at dinner. Why does that matter? Because the traditional eating pattern, light breakfast, moderate lunch, heavy dinner, actually works against muscle preservation. Your body can only absorb and utilize about 25 to 35 grams of protein at a time for muscle repair. Anything beyond that gets stored or oxidized. So if you're stacking all your protein at dinner, you're wasting valuable opportunities throughout the day. Here's how you can apply this immediately. Morning within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. Goal: wake up your neuromuscular system. Meal idea: new whole eggs plus a scoop of whey protein in a smoothie. Why your nervous system is most responsive after sleep and acetylcholine levels are naturally low. This combo reactivates your signaling system and flips the mTOR switch. Midday lunch. Goal: sustain muscle building signal. Meal idea: grilled chicken breast with quinoa and steamed broccoli. Why? It keeps MPS active and supports afternoon energy and coordination. Evening dinner. Goal: recovery, not overload. Meal idea: lentils or fish with leafy greens and olive oil. Why? Provides protein and anti-inflammatory support without overwhelming digestion or wasting excess protein. But timing isn't just about meals, it's also about movement. Another critical window is right after physical activity, whether it's a walk, light stretching, or resistance band work. Your muscles become more receptive to amino acids within 30 to 60 minutes. This is often called the anabolic window, and it's one of the most underused tools for seniors. Use this window wisely. Even a simple snack like a banana blended with protein powder or Greek yogurt with a handful of seeds can supercharge recovery and help lock in the benefits of movement. One last thing to watch out for. Avoid protein stacking at night, meaning saving all your protein for one big meal. You generally can't use it all at once, and you miss the chance to feed your muscles throughout the day when they need it most. A simple layout to follow: breakfast protein plus greens, lunch, balanced protein plus carbs plus fiber, Dinner, lighter protein, plus vegetables, plus healthy fats. This rhythm doesn't just nourish your body, it communicates with it. It tells your muscles, you're still needed. Stay strong, stay active, stay alive. Because muscle isn't just for movement, it's a metabolic organ. It protects your bones, supports your balance, and preserves your independence. And the clock is one of the most powerful tools you have. Use it wisely and your legs will thank you with every step. Let's bring everything together into a simple, practical routine you can start tomorrow morning. This isn't a diet. It's not a supplement stack. It's a neuromuscular reset designed to help your body do what it already knows how to do when given the right support. 7.14. Day Reconnection Protocol. First thing in the morning, drink a glass of warm water with a pinch of Celtic sea salt. This jumpstarts hydration, mineral absorption, and nerve signaling. 30 minutes later, have 2 whole eggs and a scoop of whey protein. This combo supplies leucine for muscle activation and choline for better neural communication. After your light walk or stretching routine, 10 to 15 min, eat a full meal that includes leafy greens sautéed in olive oil, a source of clean protein like salmon or beans, and complex carbs like lentils or sweet potato. You're feeding your muscles, nervous system, and circulation all at once. Pre-activity optional. About 90 minutes before any walk or light physical movement, drink 250 to 300 ml of beetroot juice. This primes your circulation and oxygen flow. If you don't like juice, try steamed or roasted beets as a side. Daily target: a cup of dark, leafy greens every morning, ideally combined with a healthy fat to improve nutrient absorption. Add lemon juice or vinegar to boost digestion. Try this for 1 week, then continue for 2. You don't have to be perfect, just consistent. And don't expect fireworks on day 1. What you may begin to notice instead is subtle, steadier steps, less stiffness, a smoother stride, less hesitation, getting up from your chair. Over time, these small changes stack. They become your new normal. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to fight your body. You need to feed it, support it, align with how it naturally heals. You haven't run out of strength. You've just run out of connection. And now you know how to bring it back, one meal, one step, one signal at a time. If this message spoke to you, if even one part of today's video helped you understand your body better, then don't keep it to yourself. Click the like button. Leave a comment below and tell us, what part of this protocol are you most excited to try, or what surprised you the most about how leg strength really works? And if you want more science-backed ways to stay active, confident, and strong without gimmicks or guesswork, go ahead and subscribe. This community is here for you. We share practical tools, real strategies, and stories from people just like you. Because your legs don't just move you, they carry your freedom, your independence, and your ability to live life on your terms. Let's protect that together.